Good day and welcome to another session with Emenefine, the Wise Counselor. 2024 has been a very challenging year for any business who is operating in Nigeria. I can count at the finger of my teeth more than 10 businesses that I know that went out of business. Now, a lot of businesses went through this year with all the challenges, and most of us are going into 2025. But then, with the challenges that we face in 2024, if we don't clearly come up with a plan for 2025, a lot of us would also experience the pains and challenges we face in 2024 in 2025. What this tells us is that there's actually a way to make your 2025 a better year and a more successful year. And in this video, we are going to be sharing some ideas, some strategies that work for anybody who wants to make 2025 a very good year for him or herself. Now, what this entails is that there has to be a deliberate plan by anybody who wants to make 2025 a very successful year. Most of us just drift into a new year and we just feel that the year will be okay for us. Unfortunately, life is not designed that way. Unfortunately, business success is not designed that way. What this means for everybody is that your success must be planned and designed. And the same way to anybody, a mother that's pregnant, plans for the new baby to come, buys clothes and put things in order, knows the medicine to take and things not to take. The same way to anybody who wants to successfully drive into 2025 must have a clear plan for that business. So I want to just share some ideas of what we need to do to make 2025 a better year for most of us. Like we know, a lot of companies have gone out of business, including big companies. Just recently, a few days ago, we heard that Lafarge is leaving Nigeria. And we've heard other very big names leave Nigeria. The same way too, if you don't want your business to leave Nigeria by next year, these are some of the ideas I think you need to put in place. The first thing you need to do is to review your 2024. How well did your company do in the year 2024? What are the operations you put in place in 2024? What are the things that work for your business in 2024? What this entails is that you need to call a meeting with your team and sit down and say, how did we do in 2024? What were our goals for the year? What are our mid-year achievements? What are our full-year achievements? If you don't review your 2024 to look at your business practices, to look at your operations, there's no way you know the things to stop doing and the things to start to do in 2025. So it means that you need to create a table and you write out on one side, these are the things that work for us, which means, and this is what you need to do with your team. Sit down and say, number one, we achieved this. Number two, we put this strategy into place and it worked. Number three, we tried this idea, it worked for us. Number four, this service that we are rendering gave us good result. Number five, this product we are selling gave us good result. Now you make a list of all the things that work for you and say, okay, what are the next side of the table is the things that didn't work for you. We started the year by working with some premium clients, it didn't work for us, number one. We started by running online adverts, it didn't give us good results. We started by visiting some of our old clients, it didn't give us good results. You need to tabulate the things that didn't work for you. We started with this kind of staff, this kind of staff didn't give us good results. People that who had these specifications, who had these qualities, didn't give us the result that we want. People who operated this way didn't give us the result that we want. These are the things you must list out and now sit down to review them. The things that worked and the things that didn't work. Because when you don't do this review, you find out that you drive into 2025 doing more of the things that didn't work without even knowing that these things didn't give you the result that you wanted. The next thing you also need to do is to sit down and ask yourself, based on the current challenge facing the nation, facing your business, what are the radical changes that you need to make? For instance, for us, we have to sit down and tell ourselves, see, this category of services that we are rendering didn't give us the kind of result that we expected. So based on that, in 2025, we are not going to continue with this kind of services. We also look at some of our operations and say, you know what, we need to change the way we run these operations. You too also need to look at the changes that you need to make starting from January of 2025. Because if you don't clearly define these changes, it means that you go into 2025 doing exactly the same things that you are doing in 2024. The other area too is to ask yourself, there's a client of ours that I was discussing with. He's majorly into AC servicing. I was discussing with him this year. What are the new spaces he can go into? Have you considered going into generator repairs? Have you considered going into fire services, fire safety services, health, safety and environment related services? I remember somebody who fixes our generator. He is very good with petrol generators. And I approach him and I say, see, you operate in a highbrow area where most people who are in this area, neighborhood, own mostly diesel generators. Don't you think you need to start to acquire skills in how to also fix diesel generators? Because one, this will pay you more. This will also give you more jobs. The same way too for everybody, you need to look at your space and ask yourself, what new space are you going to go into in 2025? For us, for instance, we realized that some of our clients that we work with, we tell people to come and supply them softwares. And we say, you know what, in 2025, we are going to go into sales software deployment. These are new spaces that we are going into. The same way too is for you to look at your industry, look at the related spaces and say, okay, we will need to venture into this new space in the new year. Because everybody, every business needs to create new opportunities for themselves in the new year. The other thing you also need to look at is, what are the old spaces that you need to exit? These might not necessarily be spaces that are not giving you revenue. These might be spaces that the input you are giving into them is not what the output that is coming to you. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you stop running these services. What it means is that you can actually outsource them to somebody else. Some of our services, for instance, I told my people this morning that some of the interviews that we do, we need to outsource them to other recruitment agencies. Let them do the interviews, send us the good candidates, and we'll now do the second batch of interview, pick from them, and now send to our clients. You need to maximize the use of your time. Things that don't add value to your business, that might be necessary but don't add so much value, look at ways of outsourcing them or giving them out, such that the limited time you have to use, you can use them in more lucrative areas. The next thing you also need to look at too, if you want to excel, is to design how you start your year. Meaning, in the coming year, what are the SOPs that we need to design to guide us throughout the year? In the coming year, what are the plans that we need to start to deploy to guide us throughout the year? It is critical that you start the year on a very good note, because that will guide you in how you operate in the next 12 months of 2025. Unfortunately, most people will just float from 2024 into 2025 and just continue going about it the same way. But people who excel are people who come up at the beginning of the year or at the end of this 2024 and say, okay, in 2025, these are the things, these are the way we go about our operations in 2025. It means that you must deliberately plan how your January of 2025 especially is going to be. If not, you just move in with the same momentum, with the same energy of 2024 into 2025, and when you look at the two, maybe towards the end of 2025, there won't be any visible difference between your 2024 and 2025. The other area too that is critical for you is for you to analyze your personal and your business health. What this means is that this might just be the time for you to look at yourself and say, okay, when was the last time I checked my pressure? When was the last time I did a food check? Apart from that, to also look at your business. How healthy is your business? Does it have the financial muscle to at least stay like 2 or 3 months if things get so bad? And if it doesn't, what are the changes that you need to make? What areas can you start to cut down on your expenses? Financial muscle, financial backings is something that a lot of businesses need to think about critically in the next year. Because if you remember the story of the 5 wise virgins and the 5 foolish virgins, they say one of the things that separated the wise from the foolish was that the foolish should have realized that anybody who doesn't have a savings shouldn't go into party. You can't be going for parties, wedding parties, when you don't have any savings at all. The same way too for your business. You also need to realize that if you don't plan your finances very well, a lot of businesses that have collapsed are because, one, they didn't start on time to plan other streams of income into their businesses, or they didn't start on time to save money such that when things become so difficult as it is in Nigeria now, they wouldn't know how to raise money to foot their bills or pay their salary. I discussed with a lot of CEOs who are still owing their salary to their staff, 2 months salary, 3 months salary, some even 6 months salary. It's basically because they are not looking at the revenues that the company is generating. One of the things that you must do in 2025 is that your eyes must constantly be on your revenue and on your break-even point. What this means is that look at your overhead. What does it take for you to maintain your business? And at every particular point, make sure that you are programmed into your business to generate enough revenue at least to cover your overhead, cover your salary, cover your rent, cover your other operational costs for the month, such that you know that even if anything goes wrong, you are able to cover your overhead at any particular point. This is very critical for your success. The other thing now I also want to talk about is to look at what are the tools you need to start to bring into your business. A lot of companies have been operating with the same set of tools that are outdated. Recently, one of our clients that was into maintenance acquired a toolbox that cost him almost 200,000, preparing for the next year. So what are the relevant tools in your space? What are the relevant equipment you need to be hyper productive? At the end of the day, is the tools, is the resources, the equipment that you have that can help you deliver better and superior results. If you continue, I share with people that most of our clients come from the products, videos like this that we make and we put out. And when they watch it, they reach out to us. When the articles we put out, they reach out to us. But if we continue the videos the way we are doing it in 2024, and we don't do anything to improve the video quality by bringing in better resources, for instance, there's a tool called DALL-E or Video GPT that you could put in your video and tell you, okay, add these features to this video, and it will add that feature to you to that particular video. Which means it can take a normal video like this and animate it and put some very top quality content inside it, making your video content production to be of better quality. What this tells you is that in whatever you are doing, this is the time for you to actually look at what are the equipment that can make me deliver superior value, superior output at a lesser cost next year. It means for everybody, this is time to start to invest in the tools and equipment that will drive your business. And also coming to your team too, this is time for you to accelerate your training of your staff. For anybody who is doing anything for you, you must ask yourself, what is the next level of this operation? And when you've determined the next level of that operation, that is the time for you to say now, what are the skills that we need to train this person such that by January, this person can start to operate at this particular level if they were formerly at this particular level. If you don't train your people, it means is that the same result that you are getting last year that you are going to get next year. Over the past let's say 45 days to now, I've been taking almost every week, I take at least 2 online courses on Coursera based on where we are going to. It doesn't mean that I can't continue to do what we are doing, but then I know that for 2025, I need to stay focused and acquire as much training as possible. So that when we are launching into 2025, I already am well equipped to get into that particular space, which is why it's important for you as a leader to also prepare yourself. Develop yourself in this space such that you can't send your people to do what you are not competent to do. So develop yourself too such that your customers will be ready to pay you, offer more resources, more value for pay you more for the value you are delivering. And finally, the disruption that artificial intelligence is bringing to bear is real for most businesses. And companies that don't wake up to start to ask themselves, how can we deploy artificial intelligence in what we do, will find that they no longer have businesses that they can offer. I'm taking an IBM course currently, and I just saw where IBM Watson can actually do all your customer service, can also do all your sales calls for you. And your customers, when it's calling them, will actually think that it's a human being that is doing the sales call. I was discussing my team the other day, and we just found something that could actually do source for the candidates, run the interviews, and shortlist these candidates. It means that a lot of the operations that some of us are doing, that technology is coming to disrupt it. And the sooner we ask ourselves, if this technology is coming, do we understand how to use this technology? So that we don't wake up and people who understand how to use this technology will take our businesses away from us. The bottom line is 2025 needs to be a different year that gives you better results. And for that to happen, you need to carefully plan for it and carefully design the output you want to get from it. Business owners are crying, business owners are being pushed into a tight corner because of the economic challenges that the nation is passing through. But we can say that 2024 caught us unawares because a lot of us were not prepared. But let's not also allow 2025 to catch us unawares. Let's deliberately plan for it and also have a backup, a fallback plan. If your plan by the first 3 months of 2025 doesn't work out, have a fallback plan whereby you say, okay, this thing that we are trying to do is no longer working, so let's fall back to this. If you have just one plan and you're sticking to it, unfortunately your business might not survive 2025. Because 2025 are for those who are dynamic, who are flexible in the operation, and who don't just say, this is what we are known for, this is what we want to do. I can tell you that if one of our clients is into hospitality, we've never done anything in hospitality, but when that opportunity came up, we moved from what we are doing into the hospitality, and now we are managing that space for him. We don't say this is not our space. Also, for everybody, for 2025, you need to have a backup plan. If your main plan doesn't work out, have a plan B, have a plan C. So sit down and also work out your plan A and plan B. If our revenue falls to this, let's say your monthly operational cost is about 10 million. If your revenue falls to 5 million, what is your plan B? If it falls to 3 million per month, what is your plan C? Those are the plans you must put in place such that things don't start to happen around you and find yourself crashing without any option. I hope this helps you in what you are doing. I hope this helps you to prepare for 2025, because only those who are prepared and who design a careful plan will do well in 2025. Thank you for watching, and I also invite you to join our artificial intelligence platform where we share ideas on the different use cases for AI in everything that we do. Thank you for watching, and see you later.